Welcome back, everybody, to the Cake Eaters Eagle Ranch podcast. Brought to you by the hospital and the devil, apparently, because apparently the Avs are absolutely cursed. That was a game that actually wasn't that bad, considering the scenario. It sucks because it's against the Flyers, but the Flyers kind of flyered that hockey game up, and the Avs kind of had half their team die. So
Yeah, I think the Avs probably win this if Georgiev played average. He was terrible. Um, I mean,
that's a hard
like
disagree for me.
soft goals. I mean, just
So there's one goal that's soft, one goal that's nonsense that you
the pad
might.
pass is just stupid. Like you need your goalie to not give up that juicy of a
But
rebound.
people do that for a reason. That the pad pass exists because that's what the goalie has to do.
The goalie's stick also exists to deflect the puck into the corner. So
Yeah, but that was on that's why they aim for the far toe of his pad. It's I don't know. That's a goal where I'm like, whatever. He makes the first stop, and then Jayson Megna just decides defense is for chumps. And
so I'm not really in the mood to argue tonight. I just want to get straight to it.
you go right ahead then.
I just want to get straight to this. This game means absolutely nothing in the course of the season. It is a loss in the loss column. That is all it stands for. So if you see anybody overreacting out there, um, the Fire Bednar people, this is all blah blah blah's fault. Like no,
Especially to
shove
fire
it
the training staff people.
like shove it up your ass. Like the process in this game was good. The Avs outplayed Philadelphia by a lot, and they lost because they don't have the horses right now.
Yep, pretty
Um,
much.
and their goalie didn't play great. So I think,
And Carter Hart did. Full credit to Carter
and
Hart.
Carter Hart was fine. He made some nice saves. He let in 3. So, I mean, those 2 at the end are garbage time. The game itself doesn't mean a whole lot to me personally. I don't think we have to spend too much time on it. The main thing here is going to be losing your best player, or you know, whatever you think.
Yeah.
Gabe Landeskog has previously said best player, so I'm just going to go with it. Um, he, he's the he's what makes this team go, and you can see it. Like I mean, they looked really bad when he left the game. Um, I mean,
Right.
they were still playing okay. Like they were still trying hard, and which is good, and they weren't giving up. But man, they they need Nathan MacKinnon. Um, they need some good news, and it looked like it was the rib area, like lower ribs. It was on a cross check from Scott Lawton. He goes back to the bench.
Yeah,
He
there was
he
some talk that it
he
might have been
starts
when Kevin Hayes held him, and I would maybe like a muscle pull happens there,
whatever
but
it
I
was.
doubt that. Yeah.
Whatever it was, he goes back to the bench. He starts grabbing at it, the lower rib area, and it doesn't feel great. He goes back out for a power play shift, takes a shot from the point, and starts grabbing at it again, and something's really wrong. So,
And for the record, we want to clarify that he didn't take a shot to his body. He took a shot. He literally shot the puck and got
yeah.
hurt. Because I feel like a lot of people got confused about that.
Um, and, you know, that's probably like rib or oblique, something like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to find some doctor guy tweeted something about it.
I don't listen to Twitter doctors, but like,
Yeah, but
we're not going to know, and we're not going to know until we know.
he isn't diagnosing it. He's just giving some possibilities, and I think so. I mean, he's so if he has an abdominal muscle oblique or latissimus dorsi strain. These are words I should learn. He will need an exam and an MRI to determine the grade of the injury, and it could either just be day to day or it could be 6+ weeks. Um, could potentially be broken ribs, which are 4+ weeks. But I feel like, from my experience, broken ribs are easier to play through. But
now you're not having him play through shit.
right.
You got to get this right. He's the guy. He has been since 2017, and it sucks that it just sucks, man. They go out onto the road against to play 4 Eastern Conference teams. They lose Josh Manson, whatever, like Canadian, Northern, Eastern, whatever, like, long roadie. So you go onto the road and, you're thinking, like, just get through this, man. Like, you're not thinking, like, psychologically, you're not thinking they're going to get more injured, right? That's not,
Who even
like,
knew that was a thing that could happen?
Right. It, like, doesn't cross your mind going into it. You're just like, oh, they just need to survive this road trip. The possibility of more injuries doesn't even occur to us. But then, you get to Buffalo, Josh Manson is gone. Oh, okay. And then Foodie and Lekkonen get hurt in Boston, and you're like, well, shit. And, this game is a roll of the dice. But they come out and they look pretty good, and then your best player gets hurt. And it's just like, now the list is up to 10 guys. They just don't have the horses for it right now to win hockey games.
Yeah, you saw they were playing well for the rest of the game, but when you're, God, how many fucking AHL players were playing tonight?
I don't know if they were playing well. They just were like
they
were trying.
They were playing well enough. They outchanced the Flyers. Like, they were trying. They outchanced the team that's playing well for this team at the very least. Like, I'm not saying this is playing well compared to like if they played the Bruins, this would still be playing well. But given the context, they played well. They technically outplayed the Flyers.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Georgiev was bad, but I do think there was definitely a difference in goaltending, or at the very least finishing tonight.
Dude, I think he was not good. I don't know where you're getting this from, but like, I'm not in the
I just
mood
don't
to
know
argue.
what you want from him. But
I want him to save. I want him to save more pucks, man. Like, when you have this many injuries and you're running this lineup out there, and you're giving up 4 goals on 2 expected, like 2+ expected, like, you're just not going to win any games. You're just not. It's not good enough from him. So
stop giving up on man rushes.
It's going to happen, man. The team sucks in front of him. Like, it's going to happen. He just has to. He's got to save some pucks.
They got to score some pucks, man. Like, 2 breakaways, you have to score on one of those. One of those wide open.
They scored 3 goals, right?
Yeah, you scored 2 of them in the last 5 minutes of the game. Who gives a shit at that point? That's not goaltender support. That's just making the game close.
So the thing about hockey is the team with more goals at the end wins. And 3 goals should be enough to win, especially when you're this injured and your goalie just didn't play well enough.
In this version of the NHL, 3 goals is very rarely going to be enough to win a hockey game.
That's just not true.
I can just look at the scores for tonight.
That's just anecdotal, man. It's you got to look at data over a long time, but seriously, man.
Not over a long time.
Okay. Answer me this. This version of the Avalanche scores 3 goals every single game. Would you take it?
3 goals every game?
Would you take it? Would you take 3 goals?
No.
Every game. This version of the Avalanche right now.
Oh, this version? Yeah, sure, fine. Whatever.
Okay, that's my point. That's my point. That you can't ask for like more than 3. And I get 2 of them are in garbage time, but that's why, like, your goalie shouldn't give up 4 before garbage time. Like, that's all I'm saying. Sure, can they finish better? Sure, can you nitpick a breakaway here and there? Yeah, but like, ultimately, if the Avs want to get through this, Alexandar Georgiev has to play better.
I agree that he has to play better, but I just don't like. First goal, there's 5 dudes in front of him, and Travis Santon just walks down Main Street. It's like, here, I'll just shoot this puck wherever I want, and he does. And then on the second goal, I understand you don't like the pad pass, but that's a play for a reason. NHL teams, coaches from every level run that play for one particular reason, and it's because that's what the goaltender has to do. And when the goaltender does that, he has to rely on his defenders to make a play. And you know what? The Avs might suck, but that's not Georgiev's fault. It's not his fault that Jayson Megna just is one of the worst defensive players that I've seen them play for a while. Like, that might be an exaggeration because they've had some pretty bad defensive guys, but he is so, God, I'm so tired of Jayson Megna. He better be the first guy sent down when they call guys up.
It's going to be Galchenyuk.
Maybe, probably. Yeah. I still prefer. I would still hope it'd be Megna because I know people haven't liked Galchenyuk, but like Jayson Megna has been actively the cause for a goal a game for the past 4 games. That's pretty fucking brutal for an AHL guy who's playing 4th line minutes most of the time. That's just unacceptable.
Look, man, I'm sick of talking about this stupid Jayson Megna shit. Like, I get it. Like, it's part of the conversation, but like, if you're going to get through this stretch, I don't love focusing on this game just in general, just because it's just stupid. Like, if you're going to get through this stretch, like, I'm trying to talk myself into the Avs being okay. That's what this has kind of been for me. And like, if you're going to survive, your goalie has to give you better than what he gave you tonight. It's got to be like, I mean, I'm not talking, it doesn't have to be like that Dallas game in Denver where, you know, it's like 39 out of 40 he saves. It doesn't have to be to that level, but it can't be like it was tonight. It can't be like it was in Buffalo. It can't be like it was in Winnipeg. It's got to be better. That's 5, 4, and 4 goals he's given up in his last 3 games, and they're not going to win many games when he gives up that many goals. It's concerning.
Yeah, but you're not. But I just. How many goals did they score in those games outside of this one in garbage time? 0, 1, then 1. That is,
look, man, goals are going to be really hard to come by here, man. And I don't care if they're not finishing as long as they're trying hard. So, like,
well, trying hard isn't going to win them hockey games. Clearly,
with that team, I mean, trying hard could win you some games if your goalie didn't give up 4 or 5
but
goals.
It didn't. Trying hard did them jack shit tonight. It did them nothing. It did them 0. They got 0 points out of this game. They got nothing out of this game from the first power play until 5 minutes left where Mikko Rantanen decided to walk through everybody. That got them jack shit.
And that's because their goalie didn't play well enough, man. Like,
no, because they didn't score.
4 goals.
I understand their goalie didn't play well enough. They didn't play well enough either. This is like maybe 50% on Alexandar Georgiev because did they even like he gives up 4 goals, but they didn't even score a second goal until 5 minutes left in the third period. You cannot wait 55 minutes to get your second goal of the game and expect to win hockey games. You know, they knew the status. They knew the team, man. Second period, that's fine. You know what? You can't just I understand. Look, Georgiev has to be better in games going forward with this team. But guess what? This team just isn't good. And I'm not saying they're like disappointing, but you know, you can't put the game on Georgiev when the team in front of him is bad and they're not doing anything to help him offensively.
I mean, you lost Nathan MacKinnon, man. Like, it's going to take your goalie playing well to win that game. And he didn't. So I just don't see I'm sick of talking about this because, like, whatever I say, it's like, I get it. You're not going to agree with it. That's okay. I've laid out my opinion. It is what it is. I totally see where you're coming from, but like also the last 5 minutes are part of the game too. And like you scored 3 goals tonight and your goalie gave up 4 and it sucks. And a couple of them were soft and it just sucks. It's a shitty feeling, but I don't want to talk about this game anymore. Like it doesn't mean anything to me. What I want to talk about is what's going on these next few days here. Like, are you going to get like you got Boston in Denver? in 2 nights. I just pencil that up for an L, probably, right? Like,
Yeah, it's Bruins, Rangers at home, then Blues away, then Flyers, Sabres, Predators, Islanders, and Canadians all at home.
the Rangers game is winnable.
They have been very bad lately.
Then you go to St. Louis and it's a matinee game, and those are always bullshit. And so
Yeah.
it's like
Well,
you
that
probably
the
pencil
Rangers
that in for an L too, man. With if you have this team that you have right now, you probably just say
Yeah,
L.
there has been some speculation that maybe they get guys back against the Bruins. I don't know. I feel like maybe by the Blues, I think they get at least 2 dudes back.
So you've got these 3 games. I feel like
That's
these 3
obviously
games is a reasonable like amount of games to look at without like just saying like these are the guys you have. The guys in the lineup right now are the guys that you have for these 3 games.
right.
And you know, the best case I see out of this is you go 1 and 2.
Yeah, if you just
I mean, if you can
maybe
just
push them to overtime.
if you can just
Like,
stay above 500 until Landeskog comes back.
yeah, until if you just stay at like above 500, preferably in the playoff picture for this entire month of December. I mean, the thing is that I don't know how far guys are out, and I don't want to set the expectation that that's okay for the entire month of December, but I also don't know, like, because we don't know what's going to happen. So many guys are skating back. Like, with this current, if this current lineup stays with like a few dudes added, then that's fine. But if like they get Nichushkin and Landeskog and Byram and Lehkonen and Manson, if they get all those guys back, then there's a point where you just gotta win some hockey games again, or even MacKinnon, because we don't know how long he's going to be out.
I mean,
Rodriguez, I don't.
we'll see how it all plays out. Obviously, but I just think if you get to Landeskog coming back mid to late January, and you're above 500, like that is a huge win, in my opinion. So
Yeah, so technically, I mean, if we're going like based on like what it has on NHL, the 500, the Predators are the only other 500 team, or the only 500 team that's out of the playoff picture.
I mean, I don't even care about the playoff picture right now because, like, you know, if you can get some guys back and you're still above 500, like, you have a good shot at getting in. That's just the way I see it.
The thing is, you never know, and I'm not. That's the. You don't want to let too many teams get ahead of you because there's a grip of teams floating around 500.
I'm just not that worried about it in terms of division standings, just because like we saw it last year. At this time of year, you know, the Avs were quite a few points behind Nashville.
Well, yeah, but
they
went on
left them in the dust. So,
but they also went on like a 10-game winning streak, and that's not going to happen this year,
right? Because they were decently healthy. So that's what I'm saying is when you get guys back, you know, you got to play obviously like 800 hockey from then on out, but like they can do that. They've proven it before. So,
well, yeah, I mean, kind of. I just don't think that's like a realistic expectation to set. Playing 800 hockey
I totally think it's realistic,
months,
dude. That this team fully healthy or close
I mean,
to
I
it
guess
can smoke any NHL team on any given night. So
I wouldn't rely on it, so to speak.
I mean, I would. I think this team is really fucking good.
I think they are too, but you know what? Nonsense happens,
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying when you get your
Hockey
horses
be
back,
whack.
if you're above 500, you're probably fine. I just think you have to get to that Landeskog coming back. I think that's just like a good benchmark at this point because some of these injuries are long term, some of them aren't. We'll see about
Right,
MacKinnon.
and I mean, by
And
then
so I think
you still have at least half the season left, if not more.
That's what I'm saying. So I think by the Landeskog thing, like with all the timelines that we have right now, everybody should be back by the time Landeskog is. That's kind of what I'm marking it as. Obviously, like
Actually,
more guys can
oh
get
yeah,
injured.
maybe.
That's a possibility.
Is Erod supposed to be back before Landeskog?
Erod was
Because
2 to 4 weeks about 2 weeks ago. So we'll see.
yeah. I just don't know. Like
Landeskog is give or take 40 days, give or take 40 days away about. So
where do you get that estimate from?
When Jared Bednar said 12 weeks.
When was that? That was a while ago.
Yeah, it was well, we've got 40 days left.
Yeah, I don't know if he's ahead of schedule on that is the only thing where I'm like,
well, he already skated, right? So like,
yeah, I don't know if they were like, I don't know. We'll see.
For me, like it makes sense in my head. Like I don't think you have a timeline longer than Landeskog's, and I think like most of your timelines will match up pretty much perfectly with his. We don't know about MacKinnon, so
really quick. Fortunately, the Bruins did lose today, so maybe I don't know. Maybe this is
to Vegas, man. I'd rather the Bruins win.
Yeah, but no, maybe this is the start. Maybe they crumble. They lost their home winning streak to their former coach. That maybe they go on a bit of a skid here, and maybe it starts with that game against the Avs. Hopefully,
maybe they'll be angry.
Yeah, we'll see. They got 1 point out of it though,
and like to all the Avs fans who watch this, and to people who root for other teams, like we've all seen bad hockey. We watched 16-17. We watched that year. We know what it's like.
Yeah.
I just want to say this team currently, like the current lineup that happened today, these, I guess, 17 skaters without MacKinnon and these 2 goalies they're going to be okay.
I thought you said this was like the worst lineup we've ever seen or something.
No, they're going to be okay. And you know why, man? It's because, I mean, you look at all these guys. You can look at tonight. You can look at the Boston game. You can look at any of the games on this road trip. These guys, with how injured they are, and they know it, they just battle. They don't stop playing. They just keep going. And I think that's just
that's the most encouraging thing is that this team didn't give up. I want to give a special shout out to Mikko Rantanen because I feel bad for that guy.
He was trying to do too much tonight. I guess it
ended up working. And I understand. Like I think he was trying to do too much. Can you blame a guy who's playing with Andrew Cogliano and Logan O'Connor? No. Like that was the point where I was like, okay, Jared, this works with MacKinnon, not with Mikko. This not Mikko's game.
I mean, you just look at all the guys who played tonight. I mean, you've got you've got fucking Charles Hudon on your 6-on-5 at the end of the game.
He was gross.
If I told you that before the season started, that Charles Hudon would be on the ice for an Avalanche 6-on-5 in December, what would you have done, man? Like
I would have expected it to be like probably not this bad, like what the injuries were like around October, November, because I kind of was like maintained that Charles Hudon probably should have been called up like over like an Anton Bleed.
He's so much better than Anton Bleed and Jayson Megna. It's crazy. I don't know why they didn't see that.
Dude had more chances in one shift than either of those two have had this entire
and he plays season. Hard. Like he plays a hard game, and he's fine in his own zone. Like I didn't have a problem with it,
Yeah, he wasn't like getting lost in the sauce.
He wasn't good, but it wasn't like atrocious. So
yeah, he's just surviving.
He was just there, which is fine.
He at this point, I think he should probably be the last. It should be him then Kaut as the last guy sent down.
I guess, man. I would rather have Kaut than Hunt at this point.
But Yeah, I don't know. I've been a little bit lighter on Hunt than some people just because he
I don't
just
like
has
him.
played with when he played with talent, he did good, and then when he's played with no talent, he's hasn't been awful. He's been just nothing really. So
I don't think he fits like just the identity because like the Avs want to skate you into the dirt.
yeah,
And,
he's
you
not a
know,
skater.
he can't skate. So I didn't know it was that bad. Like his skating was that bad coming into it. Like from what I heard, it was just like fine, but it's not good. So I'm not a huge Dryden Hunt fan, but like I I just like back to the main point. Like just you just look at that effort that they gave tonight. Like they're not quitting yet. I should put yet there just because like you don't know what can happen.
Right.
But like they know the score. They get down and they just keep working. They just try. And I think that's important because we've seen like some bad Avalanche teams.
Yeah.
They
See
didn't
Matt Duchene just
yeah,
give
they
up.
they didn't really try. And you know, they felt sorry for themselves. These guys, they don't. I mean, Andrew Cogliano said it 2 days ago in an interview. He said, you know, nobody's sorry for us. We're not sorry for ourselves. We just have to play better. You know, like
Right.
they're not even blaming the injuries, which like, come on, guys, like it's a very like real part of this. But like, they're
Yeah.
not
It's not like you guys are like jumping off cliffs and breaking your leg or something, doing injuries doing stupid shit.
right. Like they're still bought into this thing, and that's why pretty much the only thing that you know gives me hope for this next month or so with whoever they have on the ice, I guess.
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't take too long for guys to come back. There was one other thing I was gonna say. Oh, just going back to Alexandar Georgiev, I do think they should start him more. It seemed like when I think this 2-1 thing just isn't working. I think he needs like at least 3 games in a row. I don't
I
know.
mean,
When
he'll
he
probably
was
get the Boston game.
Yeah, when he was I think he needs to get Boston and then New York and then maybe even St. Louis, to be quite honest. Maybe you throw Frankie in there just because, the Blues have had pretty blah goaltending.
I would
Um,
not put Frankie in against the divisional opponent.
uh, Boy, his setup is sick.
It's in St. Louis.
Damn it. All right, never mind. Don't play Frankie. I mean, you should play him against Boston at home, and then you're absolutely going to play him against New York, probably.
I think you play. I don't know what you do. I'm not a coach. I mean, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Like I don't. I'm not
I do
sure
think
that
that's
I'm not sure that Georgiev not like in your opinion not playing as much is hurting him because he's playing just about the same that he was earlier in the
I
season.
think, God, was he? I don't know. I felt like he was playing more often. Maybe that's just feel, but like,
No, he wasn't.
let me see. Okay, so I'll just go, just pick a random time here. Okay, so he played Columbus, Nashville. They didn't play against. So that's see, it's like the 3 number for me because he played against. Yeah, but that was also. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's confusing. Whatever. I'm not gonna pretend I know anything about goalies. All right. Anyways, Um, anything else you want to talk about?
Um, man, that was some brutal hockey tonight, wasn't it?
It was not fun to watch.
It's awful hockey, man. It just looked like an AHL game. To be fair, two AHL teams getting
It
after
did
it.
not help that the Flyers play fucking John Tortorella hockey, and it's the worst thing to watch ever.
Man, it
Like,
was the worst hockey in the world. It was two
yeah,
bad teams getting after it.
yeah. All right, we're gonna play a game here. Lift the vibes. All right, you're you often start the drafts, but I'm gonna do one this time. All right, we're doing a cookie draft. I'll let you go first, even though I know what you're gonna take, but
I mean, there's no debate here, right? There's absolutely no debate.
I'd hope not.
I mean, it's a chocolate chip cookie.
There
It's
you
just
go.
so we got 5 picks. Okay.
Yeah.
We can do that.
See, now this really just depends on like, I feel like a lot of people have like different tastes in cookies, like, and your grandma, might have like their own secret recipe of like random stuff. One of my favorites, I get these like at Chips Ahoy style, the monster cookies with like M&Ms and like you just put everything that's chocolate in there. Those are so good. That's my first pick. That's as close as I get to it.
Pick? That's such an obscure pick, man. Like you could have got that with your 5th pick.
Yeah, but I feel like it's, I wouldn't feel good about, because it's effectively just a chocolate chip cookie. So I just feel like, hand in hand. It's just a chocolate chip cookie with M&Ms in it, pretty much.
Yeah.
All right.
Is my internet bad?
I don't think so.
Okay. So it's your internet. It's your internet that's bad.
No, my internet's fine. If you're getting the Wi-Fi symbol, then it's your internet because I don't have it.
But you're the one that's cutting out. Okay, well, we'll figure this out later.
No, whatever. All right. Are we doing?
I'm gonna leave and rejoin. Be right back.
Oh, all right. I don't know if I'm supposed to be making a pick here. I didn't really think this through. I should have like flipped a coin first instead of just gifting him the first overall pick, but that's okay. I think I'll survive. He always scrutinizes my picks. It makes me feel crap. But no, I feel like my picks are at least okay.
It was such an obscure pick. You could have got that with your 5th. I'm just saying.
You always say that, but like I said, people have different cookie tastes. All right.
At number 2, see, this is where like okay. So many different directions you can go here. I guess I'll just take the sugar cookie.
Sugar cookie? See, I was thinking about that. I just don't. Sugar cookie's kind of meh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's just, it's been a staple in the league for so long that like.
Yeah, see, I was debating this with my first overall pick. Snickerdoodles, dude, they're so good.
Yeah, that's next on my board. So
it's like sugar cookie like put on crack. It's like you just, yeah. It's like, God, how would I? What's a good like IRL comp for a Snickerdoodle?
I'll go M&M cookie in my 3.
Okay, fair enough. Oh. So see, that's
just a real flashy player, really flashy.
Well, yeah, it's very colorful. See, that's where I feel like the monster pick kind of clutches up because it gets the best of both worlds with the M&M and the chocolate.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, even with that cookie, like it's almost like too obscure to be drafted. Like I could have easily thrown a flag there. I really could have.
You don't know what
it's not a known player in this league, man. I mean,
everybody knows what a monster cookie is. What?
I'm gonna let it slide. I don't know that player, so maybe I'm the dumbass, but I probably am. Yeah. So what's your 3?
See, this is a controversial one. Now, I those cookies they sell at the store, like the really soft ones that are nice and squishy, and they have like that frosting on top, like the colorful frosting with sprinkles.
Yeah, the crack cookies.
Yeah. I love those. Always have, always will. So, that's my 3rd pick.
All right, I'm gonna get my obscure one out of the way.
It's like the Val Nichushkin of cookies, by the way.
Oh yeah, there you are. I'm gonna get my obscure one out of the way. Okay. King Soopers cherry chip cookies.
Oh, that's a nice pick. I love those as a kid. I haven't had one of those in a minute.
So those are actually probably my favorite cookie. I knew I could get it lower on the board just because of how obscure it was. So
yeah, I actually probably should have taken that, but I haven't had one in so long, man. Now this might be a controversial choice, but Girl Scout cookies still count here because it's my
Which
draft.
one?
Thin Mints.
That's the steal of the draft, man. I think that could have just won you that.
Thank you. I was like, you know what? This is
It didn't even cross my mind. It wasn't even on my board, but it's the second best cookie in the world. So
they're so good, especially like I'm not a big fan of putting chocolate in the fridge, but Thin Mints straight out of the fridge. Whew.
Freezer, I'm telling you.
Freezer, okay.
I mean, there's not a whole lot of left here that I actually like in terms of cookies. So I guess I'll just go to the oatmeal raisin. You know,
oatmeal
overly hated player in my opinion. Oatmeal raisin cookies are good, and it's a well-known player, well-respected guy around the league. Like, you know, the chocolate chip cookie knows that the oatmeal raisin has talent. The oatmeal raisin cookie has talent. You know, like other guys like the oatmeal raisin cookie.
Yeah, 30-year-olds. Why did I say 30? I meant like 70, like geriatrics. All right, this might be a runner-up for the steal of the draft. This might be contested. I'm not entirely sure, but Oreos.
Yeah, it's good. I see. I'm not a huge Oreo guy.
See, I went unconventional. Like you're, you know, when you think of cookie, you think of it like, you know, this big. You know, you bake them up. Mine were a little bit more all over the place, I feel like. But yeah, no, I'm a big Oreo guy.
It's for my roster. I just wanted, you know, I wanted, you know, guys that you know everybody.
Yeah, you went,
you know,
hard
the staples of the fundamentals. You know, guys who will work hard. You've got a lot of flash on your team. I will say it's a good team. I mean, when you have chocolate chip and cherry chips, man, like I'm set. That's all I need.
Cherry chip is probably my biggest disappointment. I just let that one slip through my fingers. I didn't even really let it slip through my fingers because I absolutely just it slipped my mind. Do you remember going to King Supers and you could get those, you know, as a kid for free, you get one free cookie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always got that every time. Oh, maybe it is my Wi-Fi. He just cut out for me. Maybe it's his. I'm not entirely sure. Oh God. See, every time my Wi-Fi is bad, I get the little Wi-Fi thing that comes up on my screen. So you guys let me know down in the comments, respectfully and with great kindness, if it's mine. I think it's his because he just dipped. So yeah, I think I'm right, as is often the case. That's a joke. I'll wait till he comes back and then we'll get this thing over with. Everybody say a prayer for Nathan MacKinnon tonight. Oh, he's texting me. It kicked me off. Oh, that's not good. We're having just as good a luck as the Avs tonight because that was something that was kind of lost. The Flyers' first goal, Rantanen breaks his stick, and then the Flyers' fourth goal is some absolute nonsense. So, and then obviously the Avs have some injury problems along the way. So super fun. All right, so he says he can't even join back. I'll get over this really quick. I just do want to just give props to Alex Newhook, 2-goal game, some really nice goals from him. I thought it was an okay game from him. I thought he lacked some danger in between the two goals, but goals is goals. And Mikko Rantanen, he was pretty gross tonight. He had a really nice coast-to-coast goal. So I thought he did pretty well. And then we obviously touched on Charles Hudon, and I also thought Martin Kaut played well in his first game back. Just to retouch on that game really quick, give you guys your 3 stars that you deserve. I'm going to try and make a spreadsheet, put all our 3 stars in it, and we'll see who wins or something. But yeah, this game was awful. Everybody go say a prayer, sacrifice something for Nathan MacKinnon. Blake says he's working on it. We'll see if he can join back. But all right, so it was him. So sorry if Blake was laggy. Hopefully Nathan isn't out too long. You know, he's a very important part for this team. I think one of the bigger problems with it that we haven't touched on is the fact that your captain and your assistant captain, who's a big leader in this room, are now both out. And I think that also plays a big role. But we also touched on it, even without them, they worked hard tonight. If they keep that going, this room is very accountable. And Bednar's a very good coach, so that should be good. So yeah, Blake says bye. Hopefully you guys have a good day. Hopefully, you know what? I'll say it. If the Avs beat the Bruins on Wednesday, this game is absolutely worth it. So, see y'all, everybody. Goodbye.